welcome to this chat view with Tom Evans and the English Sisters.
Hello, Tom. We know you've got
Hello there. Great to see you both.
It's lovely to see you too.
We know you've got some exciting news. You've published another book.
Yeah, wonderful.
To add to the many that you already have.
Yeah.
I know. Actually, I've published 2 books in the last month, funnily enough. Yeah.
You really have been working hard at it. I suppose you don't even call it work, do you? We were reading it.
No, it's not work and it's not hard.
No!
Why do we say working hard?
Exactly. You know, when you love the work you do, you don't work again, do you?
You never work again.
Again. I love the way that your dog always turns up for these chat views. I think it's fantastic.
yes. Little Teddy's always here.
They're always both here, but
my little one just goes to sleep. She just starts snoring the minute we turn. It's so funny. She just snores off and relaxes. They just love them, don't they?
Just think, oh good, it's chat view time.
Anyway, this book, I mean, it's
mind-boggling. There's all those facts. I mean, this we know, all these facts that you...
Yeah, tell us more about it.
Yeah, the best review I had was from a 12-year-old.
I'm no wonder.
I didn't write it for children, but the fact that it's got that broad appeal is great. And he called it mind-boggling, which I thought was just lovely.
I know I'm going to get my little 12-year-old to read it.
Yeah, so the first thing, I didn't plan to write it. I was actually on holiday, and in the morning, every morning when we just kind of, as you just read before you go and do the sort of holiday type things, this book just arrived. And before I knew it, I had it written. And then I had a big talk to do at the end of September, and I thought it'd be really nice if I could have copies for the people I'm doing the talk to. They're all journalists. I thought if they got a message they want to share with the world, what a lovely case study to say, look, you can have an idea nowadays. And I had the idea on the 3rd of September, and by the 17th of September, it was up at the publishers.
Wow.
In print, and it arrived 2 days later.
Goodness.
So normally, my publishers takes 5 or 7 days to get books back, which is quick. But for some reason, it just arrived in 2 days, which is great. And I thought, well, now it's arrived, why don't I just shove it up in the old Kindle? So I put it on the Kindle. And then within a week, it got into the top 10 of philosophy books in the UK, which is like... I didn't write it as a book on philosophy. I just wrote it as a thought piece. And then, you've got to categorise it when you upload it. And I thought, well, that's a good enough bucket to put it under. But being up there with Kafka and Plato is always very nice, isn't it?
Well,
it's beautiful. Well,
it's philosophical.
Very philosophical, yeah. Especially the part about the future. I mean, I've only had a chance to skim through it so far. I really can't wait to read it in depth and relax as I'm reading it.
Well, I think you have to read it a little and reread it a lot.
Well, what I've read this morning has been incredible about the future. I love it. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I think that we tend to look to our leaders, don't we? We say, well, these presidents and the popes and ayatollahs and governments, they're the people that should lead us somewhere. But, they're just human too. And I've got this theory that most politicians have never run a country before, so they're mainly experimenting. Yeah. And I say in the book as well that, the scientists don't really know where we came from. And no religious leader actually knows is there really a God. Right? So all these people that we look up to say, what should we do? They're just us. They're just the same as you and me. So really it's down to us. And the only thing that we have to do to change the world we live in is to think it a different way. And so to do that, we've got to question what we know. So we've got to question, well, does it have to be like this? Do we have to have population growth every year? Can we have a static population? Can we decrease the population? Or can we increase it, but also change the way that we manage the world so we can have 70 billion people on the planet or something like that, isn't it? It's a big planet. Yeah. So just questioning those things in the book. But really the fundamental thing is what do we know? Yeah. What do we think? And literally what we think, as you well know, changes the world around us. And we only need so many people to think in a slightly different way. And that's enough for this thing called the 100 monkey syndrome to kick in. Whereas enough people will go like, well, we don't have to do this. We don't have to have wars. We don't have to have poverty. We don't have to have malnourished people and obese people. We don't have to rely on drugs. We don't have to rely on even fossil fuels. We're clever people. We can invent other ways of of living on this planet and living on this planet in harmony. And this is not like having a big group hug. It's just having fun in a kind of, hedonistic lifestyle, but not in a selfish way.
That's really empowering, isn't it?
It's very, it's beautiful. It's the way I think it was meant to be. It's a kind of future that you think, yes, that's a way.
It's like as if now we're all making it difficult for ourselves to live. As if life is difficult. I mean, just even the language we use, like congratulating on your book, that must have been hard work.
Yeah.
That, you've been working hard on it.
Yeah.
Well, it just means that you've been doing something with passion and excitement. But I mean, if we use that language, a lot of people would think, well, what's going on here? So it's also about the language we use.
Yeah, I mean, and what if something's hard? It's not because it's bad. It's just because we haven't learned how to do it yet. And basically, the one thing I find, if you want to work hard, I find it hard to sell. So I find it hard to promote and all that sort of stuff. And the last thing you want to do as an author is to say to everybody, look, my book's brilliant, read it. And so you need lovely people like you who just stand up and say, oh, I've seen you got a new book, let's have a chat with you. And this was like yesterday, and now we're talking. And you tell other people about it, and you read it, and then the reviews kind of kick in, and it goes from there. But, I didn't plan to write the book. It's very special to me. I'm very proud of it, because I think it's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
Unlike most of my books, there was no mind map, there was no structure. It just completely flew out. And I know just by the reviews that have come in that it's something a bit special.
It's very special. Well, I was just reading now about those special floating, what did you call them? How we would move and transport.
Leviton.
The Leviton. What?
Yeah, well, you think about it. 100 years ago, we didn't, we think nothing of jumping in a car now, do we? Just turn the key, just going somewhere.
Yeah.
And that was like a very special thing, let's say 100, 120 years ago. They used to have cars with people walking in front of them with a red flag. And so we get used to in 100 years just the way things just are. So if you think about the technology and the research that's going on right now, then in CERN, across the border between Italy and Switzerland, we've experienced faster than light travel. Now, Tesla knew about this over 100 years ago, and that faster than light technology opens up so much to us on this planet. It allows us to do things that sound magical. And they're actually also connected with our brain, because we don't need to invent faster than light travel, because we all possess a faster than light engine, and it's called our brain. And our
thinking process.
We can all go into the future already. So and so what's kind of good about the book is that it ties in with the other work that I'm doing on bending time, because time itself is also an illusion.
That program, we love
it. Brilliant. We recommend everybody to download that. That's very, very good.
I mean,
Bending
it just
time.
makes your day so pleasant and enjoyable. The day becomes so expanded.
Yeah, the time it expands time when you think you don't.
It does expand time, yes. And I'm also doing it live now in a workshop. I'm doing
Brilliant.
And in the workshop, I also show people to see through the illusion of time. So you actually, this reality that we've got is a consensual reality, and we can shift it. So just by changing our minds, we've got absolute control over the environment that we're in. And the converse of that is that if we live in a world where things are hard, and there's a system out to get us or control us, then that's what will present itself to us.
It's like if you're in the countryside and you see a bee and you say, that's going to sting me, that bee probably will sting you, won't it?
Well, yeah.
Unless if you look at it and say, what a lovely bee is going about its job.
Well, that is true. I mean, the people that tend to get flustered and they're very, very frightened of bees, they do seem to attract them. Yeah,
they get stung.
they may get stung. Yeah, they may.
Usually do.
They usually do.
So it's what you're thinking that happens.
Yeah. Well, it's all very interesting. It's very interesting that we are on the same energy flow as the whole of the planet Earth. That the energy frequency that we have exactly the same frequency as the Earth. Is that correct? I was reading that somewhere.
Yeah, we're kind of we're the self-awareness of the Earth, if you like. So the planet, the whole biomass is one thing. There's a concept called Gaia, where also the Earth itself is a consciousness, and the stars are consciousnesses as well, and indeed the moon is a consciousness. And they've been around a long time, but they think at different rates. So in the book, I explain how the sun has gone around the galactic centre 25 times, and it's going to go around another 25 times before it dies. So a sun year is about it's millions of years. So it takes 1.5 times.
Yeah.
So and our year is 365 days, and our day is 24 hours.
Yeah.
But these things are all kind of inverted commas man-made. You know, we've got the ability to change them. I know that you can change the speed of your consciousness, 4 or 8 times to make it go faster, and also at the same time go slower. And as you do that, then you get more things done in less time, which is great. And so that that thing there's not enough hours in a day.
Yeah.
Imagine that is a phrase isn't in our language, and there are just enough hours that you ever need. And then what happens is, when you live in this sort of magical world, all these fantastic serendipities happen to you, where things that used to take a long time and were hard work just become easy. Because I was thinking this week, I wonder how I can promote this book. I want loads of people to read it, and I want to get it above 50 Shades of Grey in the Kindle charts. It's just one of my personal goals, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people like you turn up saying that, we'll give you an interview, we'll tell some people about it. So all of a sudden, without you doing any effort, we've not left our homes, have we?
No.
The internet. We haven't remember any fossil fuel to do this.
No.
And all of a sudden, we're able to communicate to loads and loads of people. So we've invented a fantastic world already. So, we're the only, to answer your question about we're on the frequency of the Earth, the Earth and us are going to another level at the moment. We hear things like the ascension and things like that. And we're not ascending anywhere. It's just that we're going up to a new way of being. The Earth couldn't do it without us, and we couldn't do it without the Earth.
Yeah.
But unlike any point in history going back over the eons, we can decide what that new world's going to be. It's not going to be presented to us. We're collaborating in making it. So I just played in the book with what would happen 100 years from now if we had light travel, and we had levitons and things were free, and we had Pope Joan.
We were
laughing, yeah. And no pension, no retirement.
I mean, people, the elders would just be happy to contribute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
And if you think about it, I've been doing a lot of research into breath recently, and tortoises breathe about 4 times every second, and they live to 120, 150 years. Elephants breathe about 10 or 12 times every second. They live 90, 100 years. With our breath rate, the theoretical age for us should be about 50 or 60. That should be our longevity. And it was that literally about 120 years ago. And so within 100 years, we've controlled our environment, with sanitation, food, drugs, all this sort of stuff. So we've extended our life expectancy by some time. So I've just extrapolated that, saying, well, actually, then, on average, then in 100 years' time, we'll all be living to 120. Well, if we're going to do that, we don't want things like old age dementia. We don't want cancer. We don't want all those things. We want to live a full 120 years. Yeah. And if we're doing that, how are we going to live those years, and what we're going to do?
Yeah.
And let's not retire. Let's just keep living. Let's have portfolio of business.
Because a lot of people, when they retire, they just sort of think that's the end of it now, don't they? Or I'm just going to sort of vegetate. I mean, some people look forward to it, but most people actually get depressed when they retire in the end. They sort of have to. It's sad, don't they? They have to kind of adjust to it and say, well, this is my fate kind of thing now, and I have to sort of readjust to what it's going to be like being on this kind of different level that's more boring, really, they consider it.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's like dementia's not a disease; it's a condition caused by the retirement state.
Yes.
Of no mental activity.
Yes, that was
mental. Yeah, they kind of shut down, don't they? There's no new mental thought processes.
No neurological stuff going on. That is so true, and they just sort of stop. They stop functioning correctly. It's like
And so what we do, we'll spend billions of pounds on research into drugs, but all we've got to do is keep people active.
That's right. I mean, it's so simple, isn't it?
Sometimes things that are so simple are the ones that take longer to understand for some reason.
Every single minute you meditate, you add a minute to your life expectancy.
Yeah, I mean, it's free, it's
so
simple.
It's hard not to meditate. Yeah? So you meditate 10 minutes every day, you'll have a much better day. You'll be blissed out at the start of the day, so your whole day can be in bliss anyway. Yeah. You have lovely serendipities and happenstances occurring to you. Yeah. And you'll do things like write books like this in
there it is.
Lovely.
It's not very big, but
No.
it doesn't have to be a big book to make a big impact, in my
Well,
view.
it's like our book is tiny as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Entrancing Tales for Change.
Yeah, it's tiny, but
It's just about the same size. It's tiny.
yeah,
Look.
Exactly.
yeah.
But again, perfect in terms of the message that comes through. There's not a lot of words. People
No.
don't have time nowadays, do they, to do things? So they read when they're commuting and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
specifically watched this book to be, so you can read it on, a journey from say Guildford into London or something like that.
Yeah,
On the track.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
on
can, and
the
I think
Kindle.
it's a bit like our book in the sense that you can read it quickly, and then you can go back to it and just pick out little gems that are really
With
going
loads
to
of-
make you
yeah.
feel good and really make
Right.
you think about things and reflect on maybe where you are right now, where you could go to a much better place.
Yeah, and how you can change your reality. The reality that you think is real and you think is not changeable.
This
It
we
is.
know, it's like all the facts we know, but how much do we really know?
Yeah.
And how
That's-
much have
that's-
things
that's-
really changed over the years? Things that we thought we knew. I mean, people used to say that the Earth was flat, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that was a fact.
And that
so,
was a fact.
you know, there's so much.
Which is why I've got the elephant, the tortoise, and the earth
So-
picture on the
Oh,
cover.
it's lovely.
They're lovely
That's it, yeah.
colours as
It's
well.
very
But
appealing.
and that's also why I do in the live workshop. I show people live how our time continuum is an illusion, and I get people to see the past and future in people's auras and stuff like that. It's quite magical.
Ooh, so when is your? I know we have to come to one of these.
Yeah, we're going
Next
to
time we're in
definitely
London.
come.
When's
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
next
this month.
workshop?
26th of October, end of this month, in a place called Warren House, which is just the most magical place for this sort of workshop.
Beautiful.
It's a real oasis, London.
Oh.
Oh, that's wonderful. Isn't it? We want to come.
You're very, very invited. Anytime you want to get on a plane, come over here and we'll do some time
We're
bending.
going to have to do that.
I think so.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a calling.
There's going to be a calling for that.
I'll come to Italy.
Oh, that would be lovely. You come and have a talk. Oh,
All
great.
right then. Well, that's beautiful, Tom, as usual.
Thank you so
All
much.
your
Great to
books are always up. We've got your other books up here on the bookshelf. We should have brought them down, but we haven't.
No.
So they're always so inspiring, aren't they?
Yeah, very, very, very inspiring.
Flavors of thought.
Thought, yeah. They all put
Light
you
bulb
into trance.
moments.
Yeah. We're a fan. What can we say? I mean,
Thank
you're a genius, Tom. We love your innovative ideas. We love what you do. What can we say? You know, folks, people who are watching this video, go and get the books because they will change your life. They really will. They'll change your perspective. They'll change the reality you're living. They'll make you think.
make you
They're
smile as
wonderful.
well, don't
they
they?
make you laugh. This,
Funny.
what we know is very funny too. So, hey, it makes you think
Lovely
through
to see you both.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you too.
Okay, Tom.
Bye.
Bye.
Lovely. Bye-bye.
All the best and congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ciao.
Thank
Ciao.
you. Ciao.